I'm over 100 days sober from alcohol, which is something I never really expected to say. It's not because of addiction, although I did develop some really unhealthy habits over the course of the pandemic. No, it's a choice my wife and I made for our mental and physical health. Don't worry, this segment isn't going to be preachy or self righteous. As usual, I'm just sharing where I am in my mental health journey with the hopes that somebody listening finds it helpful. Let's talk. Just before New Year's Eve, my wife tells me she's giving up drinking. This wasn't a shocking thing. She'd been sober curious for years now and had been trending away from alcohol for a while until the old pandemic hit. And when it did, we built out a little but mighty home bar so that we could learn to make some fancy cocktails to scratch that itch of going out in public for happy hour. We had plans on New Year's Eve to hang out with some friends, and so we went to a local alcohol-free booze shop and picked up some drinks to experiment with. Heineken 00, a bottle of bubbly wine, and a dupe of tequila. I, on the other hand, decided to drink that night because I had bought a $40 bottle of port and had been making a big deal about it to my friends. In my family, we have a winter tradition of stripping down the dining table after dinner and passing the port, eating stinky cheese and pears and nuts until it's all gone. And although port is one of Courtney's favorite things, she stayed strong in her decision and didn't even have a taste. I was really impressed with her determination in that moment, and although I knew I'd be following suit because that's how we are in our relationship, stronger together, I think that was the moment I truly decided I wanted to take alcohol out of the equation for myself as well. At first, it was really hard. I had been in the habit of having a drink while I cooked dinner and then one with dinner or after, so finding that substitute felt really important to me. We have a tiny, narrow kitchen, which most of the year is so hot I have to be in a tank top and shorts just to be in there, and so that special drink was my reward for cooking every single day. Another barrier was that moment I come home from a long trip or a shoot day and I just want to crack open a cold one. It's funny how we find excuses for stuff like this. I call it the I deserve this syndrome, and it applies to more than just booze. It applies to making random purchases, to extra food helpings, watching an extra episode of something or an extra hour of TikToks when you know you got to get to bed because you got to get up early. It applies to going out, to ordering in instead of cooking, to dessert, to flaking on friends, to flaking on yourself, skipping yoga. It's so easy to look at what a hard day you've had and think, I deserve a little something for my efforts today. And look, you do. You really, really do deserve something for your efforts today and yesterday and the day before, because we're all, not to be morbid, but we're all slowly dying one day at a time, and most of us work really challenging jobs, whether it be physically or mentally or emotionally or even just exhaustion out of sheer boredom. And then there's keeping up with your family, your parents, if you're lucky enough to still have them, and there's life planning and taxes and bills. And then right when you think you have your finances in order, the car breaks down, you have a health scare, the bed frame gives out, your dog gets sick. It's endless. Life isn't easy. Even the billionaires are miserable, maybe even more so than us little folk. They're lonely, paranoid, angry, manic, and so greedy. So yes, treat yourself. Give yourself a reward for just being you today and doing the best you can. But think about that reward. Think long and hard. It's so easy to reach for the beer, to order the chimichanga with extra cheese, to spend the extra $100 on random stuff you find at Target when you're supposed to stick to the list. Speaking from experience here. But if you change your mentality about how you treat yourself, you just might find you get what you need. I'm over 100 days now. 1/3 of the year has passed and I haven't had a single drop of alcohol. I've replaced it, sure, with 0% beer, which I really, really enjoy. There are so many of them now. But, you know, from my last segment that soon after I gave up drinking, my doctor told me that I had really high blood pressure and that I needed to change my lifestyle. And I listened to my doctor because I want to live as long as I possibly can. I've had to change the way I eat. the way I exercise. It's been a lot all at once. But through this process, I started to think about how I treat myself, and not just treat like reward, but how do I treat my body? How do I treat my mind, myself? And I started thinking about rewards in a way that could be a true gift to my future self. I still have a few 0% beers for the week, but I choose to make that a priority for the weekend. This is better for my body and general health. And I still go out to eat, but I choose to do that once or twice a month, and we make it special. It's a real date night, an opportunity to enjoy each other and not just a lazy escape from cooking. I do yoga or ride my exercise bike so that I can eat freely at an event or a party without doing any mental gymnastics to try and convince myself it's okay. It is okay. Not just because I deserve it, but because I put in the work to make sure my body can handle it. And look, a lot of my issues are with food, but that's just me. But this also applies to finances as well. I'm in a big hole of debt, but by changing the way I reward myself and the way that I think about all the stuff I want, I've been able to pay off my car and 2 of my credit cards just simply by changing my thoughts from I need this, I deserve this, to I want this, but I need to save for it so I don't create more debt. And in my health journey, I'm now down 20 pounds. I'm on day 20 of a 30-day yoga challenge. My gut health is the best it has been in 10 years probably, and I have loads more energy. I get better sleep, and I'm more productive and creative. And the number one thing, and it took a little bit of time to get there through all of this change, is I'm more consistently happy. And that is the best part out of all of this. Everybody's journey looks different, and what I did for myself won't work for everybody. But what I can say is that you can gift your future self something today, something that would make your future self happier and healthier. And I can promise your future you will be really appreciative. Thank you to Patrick and Amy for giving me a space to talk about these things. Talking can be so healing. If you are on a mental health journey and don't know where to begin, check out letstalkmh.com and click resources. And as for us, let's talk next month.